Alessandro Tassoni was an Italian poet and writer. Life. He was born in Modena, to a noble family, from Bernardino Tassoni and Sigismonda Pellicciari. Having lost both parents at an early age, he was raised by the maternal grandfather Giovanni Pellicciari. It was with Giovanni that, according to tradition, he first visited the bucket, which was later to inspire his major work, in the belfry of Modena's cathedral. At the age of 13, Alessandro Tassoni was taught Greek and Latin by Lazzaro Labardini, a learned, distinguished and worthy man. He then became a law student, attending university in Modena, then in Bologna, Pisa and Ferrara, where he eventually graduated. He appears to have been a rowdy youth, living for some time in Nonantola, from where he was expelled in 1595, due to several incidents in which Tassoni had been involved as a member of a local street gang. In 1597, he began his service for the Cardinal Ascanio Colonna, whom he followed to Spain. In 1589 he was elected to the Accademia della Crusca. In 1603 he was back in Italy and moved to Rome. In 1612 he published anonymously the booklet La Filippiche, in which he attacked the Spanish domination of Italy. Though he always denied having written it, the work became famous enough to ingratiate Tassoni to the Charles Emmanuel I, Duke of Savoy, who, in 1618, hired him in Turin with the title of First Secretary. After this, Tassoni was with the Cardinal Ludovico Ludovici in 1626 and served under Francesco I d'Este, Duke of Modena, in 1635. He died in Modena. His fellow citizens remembered his life and work with a statue that can still be seen in front of the town symbol, the Ghirlandina. Work. Besides the above-mentioned Filippiche and other works, some of poetry and some of literary criticism, Tassoni is best known as the author of the mock-heroic poem La Secchia Rapita. It is by virtue of this work that he is remembered as Modena's poet laureate. La Secchia Rapita. La Secchia Rapita was written by Tassoni between 1614 and 1615 and first published in Paris in 1622. It was not to be published in Italy until Tassoni modified it slightly to accommodate the censorship of the Catholic Church. Tassoni paid for the first Italian edition, bearing his own name, in 1624. The final edition was published in 1630. The poem is loosely based on a war originating from the Battle of Zappolino fought between Modena and Bologna in 1325. Most of the events reported in the poem are completely fictitious, even incorporating in the war the Battle of Fossalta, which had been fought almost 100 years before. The central episode, in which the Modenese steal a bucket from the rivals, is not reported by the main contemporary historians. However, a bucket, purported to be that very trophy, has been on display in the basement of the Tor della Ghirlandina from the times of the battle to present. In the poem, the theft of the bucket results in the eruption of an extremely complicated war, where even the Olympian gods take part and is eventually resolved by the intervention of the Pope. The narration is dotted by references to situations and persons contemporary to the author, and with farcical appearances such as the Conte di Calagna, probably the best-known character of the book. In the third chapter of the poem, armies from all over the country arrive to take part in the war, and the Conte of Calagna makes his first appearance. Quest'era un cavalier bravo e galante, filosofo poetari bacchettin, c'era fu order, perigli un sacripant, mani, perigli un pezzo di pomona. Spessa amazzato avvia qualche gigante, e si scopriva poi c'era un capone, on di fanciulli dietro di lontano gli sole in grida, viva Martino. Avia ducento scrocchi in una sciera, mangiati dalla fame I pidocchiosi, ma regla de sia ciran duo mille e c'era, una falange d'ermini famosa, dipinto aviran pavoni la bandiera, con ricamidi setri d'or pomposai, la matura d'argenta e molto adorna, e intesta un gran cimia di pia maricona. This roughly translates to, he was a brave and gallant knight, a philosopher, a poet and a moralist, a devil out of the fight, a meek guy when close to peril. He often claimed he had killed a giant, which was then discovered to be a chicken, and for this the kids, seeing him approaching, would follow him shouting, "Long live Martineau!" He had 200 armed men, hungry and lousy, but he claimed it was an army of 2,000 famous knights. His coat of arms was a peacock, his armor silver. On the head he wore an helmet decorated with feathers and horns. The feathers recall the peacock and its vanity, the horns of the traditional symbol of the cuckold.